Argumentation is from the Latin word argumentum, meaning evidence, ground, support, proof, logical argument. But what is the ultimate purpose of arguing? Is it to win? Is it to assert your position? Is it to convince someone else? Is it to listen? Is it to speak? Or ultimately, is it to find the truth of the matter? Well, Aristotle once said, of the modes of persuasion furnished by the spoken word, there are three kinds. The first kind depends on the personal character of the speaker, ethos. The second on putting the audience into a certain frame of mind, pathos. The third on a proof or apparent proof provided by the words of the speech itself, logos. Persuasion is achieved by the speaker's personal character when the speech is so spoken as to make us think him credible. But how will you enter the conversation? Are you going to speak and sit down, speak and stand firm, speak and listen, speak, listen and understand? Or are you going to speak, listen, understand, and change? People think argumentation is bad, but think, the dispute itself is an opportunity. Arguing is a good time to learn how to think. It's a good time to learn how to exercise your intellect, a good time to make an impression on the listener, and last but not least, it's a good way to hear your own thoughts aloud. But there are hindrances to argumentation, namely yourself. You might be terrified of rejection. Maybe you're clinging to your own view. Maybe you actually don't know your own message and you're not clear and you have a lack of understanding and you don't know what your mission is. Maybe you have a lack of willingness to consider another view. Maybe your biggest fear to arguing is considering that if you change, your change will be marked as a failure. When you begin argumentation, you have to prepare. Research. The more you research, the better the lens. The better the lens, the better the message. You need to research so you can understand your material. You can better understand your audience. And to better understand your audience, you have to be able to understand what do they know or what do they not know. And through research, you can understand who you are. What is your bottom line? Understand the opposing sides that exist. What is the opposing side's bottom line? You have to find, by researching, your true mission as the voice, your true mission as the liaison of your community. When exercising your message, after researching, you want to analyze and criticize and think about what faults are there in the logic of your mission? What faults are there in the proof supporting your mission? What breaks opening in the knowledge of the topic needs to be addressed? Are you persuaded yourself by what you know and say? What are your claims? What are the claims of the opposing sides? What are the other claims? And what are their differing origins? Collect all these statements, all these questions, all the answers that you're finding, and cut down the top ranking into complete statements. Rank them. Identify the most important and main conclusions of the argument. Identify the premises used to support the conclusions. These are the premises of the main argument. If additional arguments have been given to support any of these premises, identify the premises of these additional arguments as well and repeat this procedure. Label the premises and conclusions using numerals or letters, and then write down the labels in a tree structure and draw arrows leading from sets of premises to the conclusions they support. And then catalog the opposing statements. And then ultimately, you want to relate all the statements all together. The manner in which I state the main points of an argumentative essay is pretty simple. What's your primary reason? What's your support? What's the opposition? And then go again with the primary objection, the opposing claims, your supports, and then a rebuttal. And then go from the secondary reason to the supports, and then the opposites, and then repeat. And then when you're nearing your conclusion, revisit the heart of the message that you want to convey. Conclude by redefining one of the key terms of your argument. For example, an essay on Marx's treatment of the conflict between wage labor and capital might begin with Marx's claim that the capitalist economy is a gigantic enterprise of dehumanization. The essay might end by suggesting that Marxist analysis is itself dehumanizing because it construes everything in the economic rather than the moral or ethical. Then you return to a theme or themes in the introduction. This strategy brings the reader full circle. For example, if you begin by describing a scenario, you can end with the same scenario as proof that your essay is helpful in creating a new understanding. You may also refer to the introductory paragraph by using keywords or parallel concepts and images that you also used in the introduction. In your conclusion, just point to the broader implications. And in the conclusion, you want to return to a theme or themes in the introduction itself. The strategy brings the reader full circle. For example, if you begin by describing a scenario, you can end with the same scenario as proof that your essay is helpful in creating a new understanding. You may also refer to the introductory paragraph by using keywords or parallel concepts and images that you also used in the introduction. Point to broader implications. The strategy when going about your argumentative essay. Is it going to be 5 paragraphs? Is it going to be 10 paragraphs? Have an outline. And in that outline, have your intro, and after your intro, your body. No less than 3 supporting topic statements. 6 is recommended. And then make sure you rank them. Put the most important statement first. After you put your statement, provide 3 to 4 sentences per topic statement. Provide an ending statement that simplifies the 3 to 4 detail statements. Then after you repeat that section, go to your conclusion. Now, if you want to use counterpoints and acknowledge the topic, at least every issue that you present with your own statement, present a counterpoint for it. Be logical, be critical, but be careful being emotional. A counterpoint is simply a point being expressed as a counter to another point being expressed. If someone makes a point of texting while driving is wrong, someone may make a counterpoint saying, if we should ban texting while driving, then why don't we ban other things that may cause accidents? Eating, putting on makeup, surfing the internet on your laptop. I don't know if that's illegal, but you want to present why your original statement is stronger, and you can't hide the fact that there are counterpoints. A counterpoint is when you predict what your reader or audience will say, and you argue that prediction before they have a chance. And that gives you more credibility, demonstrating that you do understand the issues and the other views that exist, and you're not afraid. When arguing, when making an argument, you're making a point to try to persuade, to build a connection that convinces. In order to do that, connect your message, your mission to you, who you are, and why it matters, and why what you say matters. If you can, build a narrative that makes themes come alive, with spoken, written accounts as evidence, as testimonies, and address the specific current concerns of your audience. And be serious, but relax.